name is Sean Kind, and I'm inviting you all to my podcast. This is going to be the pilot episode. We're just going to take it one step at a time. Right now, I want you guys to just take a second and reflect on your life, things you're grateful for, things that you feel connected to almost, and just sit in that for a little bit, and we'll get into today's topic. Okay, don't want you waiting too long. So, today's topic is the Unconditional Love Challenge. Now, this challenge isn't like some social media challenge where you gotta do some gimmick or some move or whatever to go viral. Like, this challenge won't make you famous. This challenge won't give you money. It won't make you more attractive. This challenge really isn't a challenge for anyone but yourself. It's a challenge your heart capacity. Can you love unconditionally? We say that, yes, I can, easily, yeah, because we know it's there, it's in us. But how do you administrate it in a way other people could receive it, you could see it in yourself, and you feel like you're living your true, authentic life? So many answers come to mind. Every individual that's ever walked this earth has always wrote about love, made art about love, movies. It's just, love is always played a role in our relationships and with each other, and just our whole mindset for the world. We believe in love. Even in a hopeless situation, we still look for love and be like, where's the love? I think once we get to the point where we no longer believe in love, that is a symptom of a wound. And sometimes that wound could give us a false sense of power. Like, you know what? I'm so hurt. I'm going to block anyone and everything from getting to my heart space. And it's not to be, well, some have malicious intent, but most of the time it's you're trying to keep yourself safe. And what person alive doesn't want to feel safe? We do everything for safety. Consciously, unconsciously, we're always protecting ourselves. It's not until we get to a place where we don't feel like we have to protect ourselves do we really feel safe. And it's really like a mind Jedi trick, because say if you're in a situation where you have so much love in you, but life is just not going your way and people are treating you unfairly, it's hard to really see, how can I still love unconditionally when the world is so unforgiving and the world is unloving, really? Things just aren't fair. So it's better to not put yourself in some kind of position where you could potentially get hurt again. And so if someone does happen to say love you or do something to make you feel loved, it could trigger you. Like, whoa, what is this person trying to do? They're trying to control me. They're trying to manipulate me. Most of the time, they're just trying to give love. Sometimes it's not about trying to do anything to you. Sometimes it's about the person and the love that's in them that they ache to release. And so, and even with that needs discipline. Because if you happen to be someone that doesn't struggle with, say, unconditional love is not a challenge for you. Well, guess what? You experience burnout more than the average person. So, and burnout is like the cousin of a heartbreak, So once you realize that on either side, whether you don't have that much emotion in you or you have too much emotion in you, it all takes balance. You can't give too much, you can't give too little. That's really like the structure of love. Like a parents to their child, like they see their child and they know they love their child, they would die for their child, but there are just some things that they can't do for their child. They let the child like figure out how they can do it for themselves. So I really see that right now in our generation, like 2023, everyone that's presently here and trying to figure out what love is gonna mean in this world of fast technology, AI technology, governments collapsing, and I guess now we're discovering aliens and all kind of other things. And it's, what does love mean in a time period where there's so much mystery? There's more unanswered questions than we have answers. So with all this brilliance and intellect, we're all searching for a security that's so perfect and so foolproof. Like, we want the person that we know for sure won't hurt us in no capacity. And it's just totally unrealistic because it makes the person responsible for you. And in reality, I mean, this whole stoic thing of I'm responsible for me, bro. Balance. So there are times where you are alone, and then there are times when you need to be with the person you love. But when we have these extremes towards one or the other, we're not winning. We're not gaining peace or control. Yeah, we may be gaining momentarily like advantages, getting through whatever thing that's got us irked. But deep down, we don't want to be that way. We don't want to be irked. We don't want to be shaken or disturbed by a person, a natural disaster, or anything. So I say all that because I'm really building up my point about unconditional love and the brilliance of it, because it has no beginning and no end. Unconditional love for me is tied to God, and God's beginning and end is, it can't be fathomed. It's just, where does it start, where does it end? It's hard to really grasp. And so if love is God and we have love in us, we have God in us. So a lot of people will be wondering, oh, where's your God? I don't see God. Yeah, I do. When I seen you look out for your moms when nobody else did, I seen God work through you. When I seen you stand up for that person that was at your risk, like it could have went bad for you, but something in you risen up and you did something. There wasn't a condition. No one had to go into your mind and tell you to do it. You just sprung into action. Everyone is born with a deep sense of purpose. Where does that come from? Why do you feel like you're special? And then when you get older and life beats the living crap out of you, and it's like, damn, I don't even know if I'm special. I just felt that way for so long. Like, I don't even know if I'm as special as I think I am. And how can I be special if there's other people who are special? Doesn't that cancel out special? Like, no. We're a collective specialness. And the more you recognize how unique and special you are as an individual, the more you can recognize that in others. But if you struggle with that, like seeing that, yeah, you're gonna have an impaired vision of the whole world. It's gonna feel like there's no love nowhere you look, and it's just a filter of pain. Now, people say love conquers all. I think there's some truth to that, but I think there's more than conquering. Don't we realize that? Or when are we as a human species are going to realize that winning isn't winning? Winning isn't winning. Yeah, you got over that one person. Yeah, you told them off. Yeah, you told them what's what. You got the receipts. You got all the screenshots. Yeah, but what about your life? Because we going in the dirt. You can't take the screenshots with you. And if you do, I mean, that's up to you, but we're all going into the great dirt. We're going back into the cycle of life. So all these arguments we be having, we be following everything online to dictate what love is for us. We want to receive information instantly. And if we don't get it, we don't trust nothing, which keeps us in like a childlike mentality. Like, I'm not going to move until my parents tell me something. Oh, I'm not going to love this person until they have the same love, fantasy love that I wanted from my parents. They got to have that. It's not real. And we don't know we're doing it, but just know that this is a human condition that's pre-existed before we were born. And we're just playing out our version of it. Now, there's some hope, because if that means that humans have been dealing with this for centuries, doesn't mean that you're a part of the cursed group. It just means that now you gotta go to the next phase. What's the next phase? What's the things you've seen people you have admired done in hard situations? I mean, really evaluate your circle or people you know. Look at the ones who you may have thought are doormats. The ones you've seen always let the other person win. Look how they handle it. Not just how they handled the moment. Look at the peace and happiness on their face and their minds and creativity. Fight any envy or jealousy you may feel inside. Like, I want that too. And you can't say it because you want to be happy for them, but it's a lot of pain blocking you. So don't blame yourself. Have grace, have compassion, and know that you are loved. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of attention. Your ideas are brilliant. No matter how stupid they are, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. There's no flaw on you. You lack nothing. It's a shame that we live in a world that talks in the reverse of that. They try to attribute your worth to how many views and followers, and the fact that there's real business tied to this now, this virtual world. People are really staking their lives on it because they see it. We're visual creatures. If we want to know what's true, it's based on what we see. And if we see it a lot online, it must be true. And really, we're just seeing a bunch of accounts reposting something from one bigger account, or we're seeing algorithms of marketing being played out in front of us, but we'll never question it. But in real life, we question real life. Isn't that strange? But in reality, we're all here to learn. We're all here to experience too. I feel like there needs to be a balance between what you learn and what you experience. So you can learn something online, some telling you some principles or some aspects, but it's up to you to reinterpret that experience. It's up to you to decipher fact from fiction and how it applies to you. It is not on the other person. As much as we want it to be, it's just you're wasting your life waiting for answers and information that you have locked away, stored in you. It just takes a bit of coaxing. It takes a bit of really taking a step back and trying to not live so much in your body, in your mind, because it's just flesh. It's just a body. You're more than your body. I mean, you have to be. You use your body all the time. I mean, shit, we listen to rap music, everything nowadays. It's all about using your body. It's not a lot about how to better utilize your body. How can we use this body to make us successful, to make us happy? We've been given the gift of life, and some of us are drowning. Some of us are starving. Some of us are thirsty in our spirits and our soul because things don't stimulate us the same. Things don't get us back the way they used to, and the world is changing rapidly. So it's like the minute you take your eyes off of it, something already changed, something already happened. So where's my place in this world? Why was I born? And I'm telling you, I feel like love is like a friend on your life path. It teaches you things. It's like, yeah, I know you never got the love you wanted from your dad that you deserved, and it made you hate what the world could be. You know, that's very common in black culture. In my culture, we just really struggle with that. You know, the missing love of our father, the missing love of our mother, our brother, our sister. It lays a foundation for some of us to think maybe the world may feel the same about me. I mean, shit, if my father don't love me, how could the world do? But then we learn that we're very much lovable, we're very much worthy, but the resentment's still there. So I feel like the unconditional love part really sets in, because if I can love even in that condition, wouldn't that be the start of healing? When I can put my story last, even though my story has been the most traumatic thing, I feel like I wouldn't wish on my enemy, you know, what I've been through. But at the same time, I'm grateful for what I went through, and it's because it made me who I am today. And I did so much to try to fit in, to try to make myself acceptable, because I was rejected very early in my life. And I just didn't fit the bill. I wasn't the perfect student. I wasn't the perfect kid. I just frustrated things with my existence. It was never welcomed as much as I seen it for other people. You know, I used to just envy normal people. I'm like, why can't I be normal? Why can't I be cool? And it would just be laughter. Kids and everything would just laugh and laugh and laugh. This kid is weird. And I followed me my whole life, that fear of like, damn, they probably think I'm weird. But it's me. I became the biggest bully of John. Everybody else gonna say what they can say. They can gaslight and all that shit, but there's nothing to gaslight if you ain't got nothing to gas and light. I don't know, I tried with that one, but in reality, like, dealing and confronting that shit was the best thing for me. Confronting those bullies in my mind of what I thought maybe the world may feel about me because of my experience. And I can't say that I wouldn't have gotten there without some unconditional love for some people along the way who just seen me and my pain and my trauma and like, yo, you're still worth something. You're still somebody. And I wanted to give that love back. I wanted to return that unconditional love. But unfortunately, early in my journey, my love was very conditional. And in some aspects, it still is very conditional. So with this challenge of unconditional love, I'm challenging myself in this, and I'm inviting the world, whoever may be out there, to also challenge themselves and see what rewards you get from it and how it benefits everyone. So rewards just ain't for yourself, rewards for your family, your kids, like your co-workers, your boss, that person you can't stand that you really wanted to get past, that you really wanted to get to that level. Yeah, it may come down to you because you are the enlightened one. You are the one that sees what's actually going on. They can't see what you see. They really can't. And that doesn't make them dumb. That doesn't make them slow. That doesn't make them untrustworthy. What makes people those things are things that make them that. People don't come equipped with distrust. You're not supposed to just distrust the world and thinking it's going to keep you safe. It's not. It's going to make the world smaller and smaller and smaller until you're isolated, and you will blame everybody for the way they don't love you when you can't love yourself. Unconditional love is unconditional love. It means no condition. No condition. Whether your ex cheated on you, shit, she could have cheated on you with your brother, your father, your uncle, everybody you could think of. If you can't love that woman despite that, you're gonna have a hard time. And that's an extreme, but I'm really trying to make a point. Like, it's almost delusional or radical, but that's the point. Because how else are you gonna get past some crazy shit like that with more anger, more hate? What, you gonna murder somebody? No, you can't. And what, you gonna act like it never happened? It did. So what's left? Love. That's the only thing that is left. Despite what anybody does in your life, love them regardless. Love your enemies and your allies. Love them all. If you can't love them, it's not a sign of strength. You're not more powerful. You're actually weaker than them. Because if they ever came across your spirit or came across you, you'll change all that you are. You'll leave out the room. You'll get all tight and wound up. You'll do different shit. So if you want freedom from everyone that's ever hurt you, you gotta try unconditional love. Start with yourself. Most importantly, we always say that. Start with yourself, because it's a big mission. And the first thing you're gonna want to do is love other people. And once you start loving on other people unconditionally, you quickly start to realize, dang, there's a lot of people suffering just like me. But the fact that I get to help them suffer a little less, that means you're the blessing. You're what we've been praying for. The fact that you can help me suffer a little less. You see me at the bus stop holding my head down. Ask me how I'm doing. Don't be worried if I'm gonna be rude to you. And if I do, don't take it personal. It's me. I'm dealing with something beyond you. But if you can be strong to love me unconditional, I can return that love tenfold. And that's with any person. You give them a shot, you give them a chance, and you can love them. But I would say take your time. Never do more than what you can actually muster, because a lot of us are very ambitious, And love is an ambitious power. It will make you bend the universe if you can. Love will make you make a way. That's why it's powerful, and that's why we need to discipline ourselves around it. We don't need to abandon love. Like, what? Why would you abandon a natural emotion? Why would you abandon something that comes perfectly equipped with life? You don't have to work for it. You don't have to qualify. You don't need good credit. What you need is to be in front of it. Dispel any idea, emotion that you have to work for love. Love is not work. God is love. And God doesn't make you work for his love. He just loves you, just as he loves the planet. And we benefit off of this planet. And whenever we have global warming and issues and things, you know, we always talk about loving the planet more. Why do we use that language? Because when we say loving, that's an ambition. That's a whole activity. It can mean anything. But we want you to permeate in that and figure out, what does that mean for you? Maybe it's not littering. Maybe it's cleaning up your neighborhood. You may feel like it's not impactful, but this earth is alive. Despite all the beeping sounds from the technology and the hums of the air fryers and all this other stuff, this world is alive around you. The floor beneath the floor beneath you is alive. The dirt, the foundation of your house is alive. All those things are just around us. You look left and right, and on you are life. You are a part of all this life. When you were born already right. Even if you have a disformity or a disability, there's no such thing. And in the human world, we put these labels on stuff so that we can identify it. And that's all it is. But we don't need to make it our identity. That is a choice. And because you made that choice in the past doesn't mean you can't change your mind. Change your mind. Every day it's your mind. Do it now before you have to pay a subscription to fucking think. Because that's the next thing. You're going to have to pay a fucking fee just to have an independent thought, because we're already losing freedom of speech. People don't want unique point of views. Everybody wants to think the same, talk the same, walk the same, dress the same. People are afraid of standing out, afraid of what it might mean being authentically by themselves, being who they are. I know I have. And through all that fear, I realized I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy being aligned with everyone else. It didn't stop them from treating me unfairly. Actually, to further my point, it didn't even make them love me. That's the kicker. Living in that matrix doesn't give you love. It's a trick to get you to spin your wheels in the chase of fantasy, and to measure yourself against something that you have no business measuring your worth and identity against to fucking begin with. And then we got a lot of public figures that are perpetuating this self-destruction that they don't partake in. There's no way you could partake in self-destruction and build. I'm gonna just tell you that now. Who's ever thinking that way is in for a rude awakening. Because love is here. Unconditional love is here. And it's always been here, because guess what? It's in every human being. So as long as there's somebody that breathes life or breathes anything, you're going to have love. Love is there. And even if you can't access it in some mood or feeling, it's not a mood or feeling. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. When I'm sad, I can be unconditional love. When I'm angry, I could be unconditional love. And it's not the subduing of my emotions, but it's the repurposing of them. It's setting the intention to an objective that coexists with others. And it's going to be tested against, because you're going to think you know what's best, and then you're going to test it against the world, and the world is going to give you feedback, and unconditional love is going to help you grow, because that's what you want. You want the same forgiveness. So if you're someone like myself who struggled with forgiveness and forgiving others, just know you're going to be okay. And the things that come against you won't prosper. The things that have came against you didn't prosper. I mean, you're here now, and you're going to continue to be here. Your spirit will be remembered. Do not fear your death. Don't fear your failure. Don't fear your success. Fear nothing. Fear nothing but God. If anything, fear the mighty power of God, that he can change things in an instant for you and for the better. He never changes them for the worse. And it's hard for us to realize that when things are happening in the beginning. When they're first starting out, it's like, what the heck? I was just on this path. Why does God hate me? God doesn't hate you. God disciplines, he chastises us, because in reality, there's things that we want that's deeper. And when we're kids, it's crazy. When we're kids, we don't mind the challenge. Our parents are fucked up towards us as kids, every human being, and we still love them with all our heart. Why is that? And we can't even do a damn thing besides love, but we have so much value because of our potential. There's potential in love. So never lose it. No matter who's not in your life anymore, who you can't love anymore, who you used to be attached to, it's time to move on. It's time to not let yourself have a cheap excuse or a way out of love. Stop giving yourself a way out of loving yourself, a way out of loving others. Stop cutting yourself slack. It's making you weaker. Every time you cut yourself slack to grow, it makes you weaker. And yes, it sucks, because we want to be 100%. We don't want to fuck up, but let yourself suck. Let yourself suck at love. Let yourself suck at what you're attempting at, and you will become a master of yourself. I appreciate you for listening. Have a wonderful